Alright, the rear is done, so now we are going to start on the front. As the dog is pointing out here, make sure you chalk your wheels and tires. Even though I got a parking brake set, I went ahead and chalked both sides. I have disconnected the sway bar. Right now I'm disconnecting the shocks. And I got an axle. I have a jack. Good Lord. I have a jack under the axle to catch it. In theory, I'm going to catch this thing when it falls out. Or the jack's going to catch it. I hope it does. Because if not, it's good the drown's going to catch it if Jack don't. There it goes. It just released. That's got to drop some more. Oh, I didn't take the track bar loose. Whoopsies. Let's go do that real quick too. Up, should be a 21mm on that. Yep, there it is. There's a flag nut on the back, I think. Yes, it is. If you, like me, have done the stabilizer flip with the MetalCloak steering, your track bars are 22mm. There we go. That one's loose too. Awesome. 18mm bolt up there, and then the shocks will drop out, and then I'm gonna take the control arms off. Shocks out. See if it fits. Alright, so I had to jack this side up to let this side over here droop enough to be able to get that spring in there. I finally got it. Now I gotta get my coil spring compressor out of there, which is another challenge. This is exhausting. I would highly recommend, if you're gonna do this, use a lift. It sucks doing this on the ground. I am beat. And I'm on day 2 of this. Now granted, I'm doing a lot of stuff at one time, so I'm not just doing a lift. But God, I'm wore out. Whew. Back to work. Running into a problem here. I'm literally so tired. I can't grip the handle of this thing to rotate it and not drop the jack. So I had to get me some super grip gloves. Ugh. You have different spacers, driver side, passenger side, on the top for these. Well, if you're like mine, you got different spacers depending on your configuration. E-torque, non-e-torque, 3. There's an end to the spring here, right? That end's got to sit in the seat, and there's also an end to the bottom, and that's also got to sit in the seat. So you got to make sure all that stuff line up. The one up top rotates, so there's a label that faces out, and depending on which side of the Jeep you're on is which label you got facing out. That's how it goes. These are old springs. All right, all that's lined up, so I can compress it up a little bit more, and then then I can drill out the holes for the shock. No, I've already done that. I'll get caught up. It's all right. Let's just get this thing up in the air and evaluate where we're at. So at this point, you're going to notice the upper control arms are held in with screwdrivers, and there is a reason why. I am actually doing the drop brackets also. So I'm just putting those in there to hold them in place. The bolts are loosely installed on the back end. Once I get it up to a rod height, I'm going to drop the back end of the arms down and work them. So I'm going to finish all the other work just with screwdrivers in there, and then I'll tighten those up later. So you got to wait till you get up a rod height, then torque your bolts down. So you leave them loose, that way they can rotate freely until you get there. All right, there's your disclaimer. All right, so you gotta start off by putting all this stuff back together, put this 10mm bolt in to hold this stuff in place. And you're putting this bracket in for your shock mount to move your shock to the outside edge over here. That's the first job. Then you start putting your spacers in and reposition your shock. Get that in now. Yep. Back it out just a hair. All right, the Rock Sport shocks are in with the relocation. This moves them outboard so that it lines up better for the articulation, having the shock more outboard. It's an improvement over the factory location. One thing I noticed though, this bolt is really close right here. So I'm guessing it was always that close. I just didn't pay attention to it. But yeah, so that bolt's really close. That's the way it said to put it on. So hopefully if that starts hitting the control arm, I'll have to drop the control arm, flip that bolt around the other way. That'll be a project for another day. Hopefully that don't happen though. Hoping this lines up and works just like it is. But I'm gonna keep an eye on that. This shock relocation, pretty easy install. I was able to get a replacement bolt out of the heat shield from the drop brackets, because you don't need heat shield no more and do the drop bracket. So now I had a replacement bolt for the one I broke when I was installing this. Another thing not covered in the directions, I bent this bracket that way a little bit because when you go to full droop, these brake lines get pretty tight. So bending that bracket allowed the brake line to point down more. I tried to bend this side over here up a little bit, but it didn't really work out so well. So, and I got to check how the front axle disconnect fits because it was really tight when I was dropping it earlier, but I didn't have the shocks in. So maybe the shocks will limit the travel so that it won't pull that wiring harness. If it does, I could do something different with the wiring harness for the front axle disconnect. We'll see as we get things put back together how it looks. All right, so at this point, I need to connect the track bar. I need to get it jacked up, put the front bolts in the control arms because I can't get the holes lined up. So I'm gonna jack it up, put the wheels and tires back on. Actually, I need to connect the sway bar probably now. It'd be easier to do that now. So I'm gonna do the sway bar first. Then I'm gonna jack it up, put the wheels and tires on. Then I'm hoping that gives me more maneuverability to work this axle back and forth a little bit to get the holes to line up. Also, I got to set the track bar in to work it Jeep side to side on it. I feel a lot safer doing this with the vehicle not sitting on jack stands. So we're gonna put the wheels and tires on so I can do it that way. With me adding lift to the Jeep, I had to lengthen my track bar to recenter my axles, which threw my steering off, so I also had to lengthen my drag arm. And I don't know why the audio got muted here. If you're doing any of these individually, you need to get done, recheck everything, drive your Jeep, get your alignment checked. If you're gonna be doing all these mods yourself, you can follow along individually. Most people don't have the attention span to watch a very long mod video. You're getting each individual section that I modified as an individual video. When all of that is said and done, I'm gonna do one large video of all these mods all being done all together. That should make sense. It'll be the same basic clips that you're getting, but also you're gonna have some stuff that didn't make those edits that are gonna be kind of in the middle. Go watch that full video for the full detailed view of front and rear suspension and sway bars and drive shaft and the Pro alignment drop brackets, all the stuff you got to do to make a lifted Jeep function and drive correctly on the road.